ओम स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः। पवित्रं चरितं यस्य पवित्रं जीवनं तथा पवित्रता स्वरूपिण्यै तस्यै कुर्मो नमो नमः। नमः श्री यतिराजाय विवेकानंदसूरये सच्चित्सुखस्वरूपाय स्वामिने तापहारिणे। Namaskar to all the devotees gathered here. Today, we are trying to contemplate on the life of Holy Mother, and one of the prominent teaching, the stotra, which is in the form of stotra by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. As such, why we have selected this topic, we need to explain a little. Holy Mother is the spiritual consort of Sri Ramakrishna. We know Adya Shakti, Jagat Janani, in her various forms, we are aware of it. We got attracted towards her purity, towards her devotion to Sri Ramakrishna, towards her compassionate nature for all the creatures. There is unknown attraction towards the Holy Mother because of her universal motherhood. Then why we are bringing Sri Chaitanya here in between? We would have been contemplated alone on Holy Mother's character. But as we said, that Holy Mother is the manifestation of universal motherhood, or she is the manifestation of divine motherhood. Here I thought that let us bring the personality of Sri Chaitanya in comparison with her, who was the manifestation of divine love. In the spiritual world, Sri Chaitanya is known as the avatara of bhakti, avatara of prema bhakti. As we know that we are having the 9 types of bhaktis. Among them, the greatest one is the prema bhakti, the love towards the Lord. That was with Sri Chaitanya. Sri Chaitanya was nothing but the embodiment of divine love. With various incidents in life, we can understand his personality better. Chaitanya was, suppose, the avatara of Radharani, who was nothing but the heart of Lord Sri Krishna. Becoming a Lord, becoming a God is an easy thing in a way, but becoming his heart is the another aspect. Bhagwan Sri Ramakrishna was also an avatar. We accept him as the avatar Varishtha, the greatest among the avataras. So, Sarada Devi, Sri Sarada Devi was the heart of Sri Ramakrishna. The way Srimati Radharani was the heart of Sri Krishna, in the same way, Holy Mother Sri Sarada Devi, she was nothing but the heart of Bhagwan Sri Ramakrishna. As one of the Kannada song also goes, that Ramakrishna Tapo Surya Kirana Bimba Chandrike O Tai Ambike. There is a wonderful depth for this sentence, for this description. We, while chanting her Holy Mother's Pranam Mantra, we keep saying, or there is a beautiful Pranam Mantra to Holy Mother and Sri Ramakrishna together, that Yathagner Dahika Shakti Ramakrishne Sthita Hiya. In the same way, the Dahika Shakti is not separate from the Agni, that is the nature of Agni itself. In the same way, the Holy Mother is united with Sri Ramakrishna. So, in the same way, Radharani was also united with Bhagwan Sri Krishna. The scriptures of devotion says. Then, what about Chaitanya? Bhagwan Sri Krishna was the Paramatma himself. Krishnastu Bhagwan Swayam, declares Sri Bhagavatam. Radharani was the inseparable power of Bhagwan Shri Krishna, says the scriptures of Bhakti. And who was the Chaitanya? The Chaitanya was nothing but the embodiment of both of these. Paramatma and his power of love, his power of devotion got together into Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And we know in the life of Chaitanya, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was a great scholar of Nyaya Shastra, born and brought up in the Navadvip of West Bengal. And he was a married man, liked by all his friends and relatives, and well respected in the society. But even then, there was no such any sign in him that he will become such a great devotee of Lord Shri Krishna. There were earlier declarations from the astrologers, etc., that yes, this boy is going to be something extraordinary in his future life. But these were after all, there was an uncertainty. Seeing the life of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Nimai Pandit, nobody was thinking that he will grow like this. Anyhow, the transformation came to him and he became mad of the personality of Sri Krishna. He merged in the devotion of Lord Krishna. And as we know, this one goes, that his life goes, the first he was the scholar of Nyaya Shastra. Then he used to go all over the places around and try to defeat the Pandits of other philosophical schools, and that was his hobby. He used to feel great while defeating them because he was completely established into the Nyaya Shastra. But the day came when he felt the futility of that scholarship, because in the front of the Sri Krishna's name, everything became immaterial for him. So that is how Chaitanya started getting engaged into the practices of devotion. And this this Nimai Pandit, the then Nimai Pandit, afterward he took the name of Sri Chaitanya Bharati. So this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had tremendous scholarship in Vyakarana and Nyaya Shastra. He never wrote a single treatise about his philosophical ideas or his devotional ideas of devotion, because he never get the time, or he never felt it. Let the words come down and let the people be enlightened. He never had the slightest ego to do all these things. All these things are possible if there is a slightest ego in our mind, that yes, I am the person, I am the enlightened one, and I will give something to this world. I want to give something to this world. But these divine personalities, those who are completely engrossed into the divinity, they lose that trace of even the trace of ahankara. They become completely one with God. Through that nature, it is not possible for them to write the books, give the lectures, defeat the people, debate with the people. It's not possible. We can see this thing in the life of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna also. We see the same way in the life of Holy Mother also. Sri Chaitanya, only 8 verses are available. From Sri Chaitanya's mouth, he recited these 8 verses and somebody has noted it down. And that portion, these 8 shlokas, are known as Shikshashtakam. Chaitanya has given his message only in 8 shlokas, but there is a cream of divine love mentioned into these 8 shlokas. So let us see how these 8 shlokas are applicable in the life of Holy Mother. what is the purpose of bringing these 8 shlokas in the comparison with Holy Mother's life and her teachings? While describing these 8 shlokas, while explaining about these 8 shlokas about Shikshashtakam, sometime it is possible that Holy Mother, we will look at her in the form of sadhika. We will think about the aspect of her as a spiritual aspirant, that aspect of her life we will try to understand. Another place, Holy Mother herself is a sadhya because she was a Adi Shakti. She was one with God always, but she performed some leelas, or we can say the divine sport. It has happened through her, and that there we have to accept her as a sadhya, as a goal of these shlokas. So let us begin what this Shikshashtakam says. The first verse goes like this: Cheto darpanam marjanam bhavamaha davagni nirvapanam Shreyah kairava chandrika vitaranam vidya vadhu jivanam Anandam buddhivardhanam pratipadam purnamrutaswadanam sarvatma snapanam param vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. As we have heard that Sri Chaitanya was the devotee, or he was the incarnation of Lord Krishna himself. He had the tremendous love for the name of Lord Krishna. The translation goes like this: let Sri Krishna Sankirtana be ultimately victorious, which cleanses dust of mind, extinguishes the formidable fire of repeated birth and death, glorious like rays of the moon, gives life to the knowledge, increases the ocean of bliss, has every word sweet like nectar, and makes everybody holy. Cheto darpana marjanam. What is this Cheto darpana? It is nothing but our own mind. This mind is unclean. It is dirty, covered with dust of ignorance. Unless and until we will remove that dust, we will clean the surface of this mirror, it is not possible to see the reflection of God into it. It's not so easy. So first we have to clean the surface of mind. Then only the Lord will reside there. Then only we can see the reflection of Lord there. Then only it is possible to understand the presence of consciousness. So Cheto Darpana Marjanam. First, let the mirror get clean. Through what? Through the name of the Lord, Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. Then, next is Bhavamaha Davagni Nirvapanam. As we know, this samsara is called like an Agni. It burns. Somebody has said that Chita, the funeral fire, he burns the body when it dies. But Chinta, or the worry, which burns the human being when he is alive, he or she is alive. So, in this samsara, there are various happenings are there. Those are making us restless. They are making us annoyed, anxious. With that Agni, with that anxiety, we are burning every day, every moment, without thinking of our own real nature. As Vivekananda has said, each soul is potentially divine, but who understands divinity? We are so much attached to this body and mind that we have forgotten completely that we are something better than that. We are something beyond this. Let it be so. So, this first, you have to clean your mind. You have to be ready to receive the reflection of the Lord, to understand the presence of consciousness in you. Cheto darpana marjanam bhavamaha davagni nirvapanam. Also, this Krishna Nama Sankirtana, what it does. what happens if you have understood about your own real nature? What happens if you develop the devotion towards the Lord? This removes the anxiety, this removes the fear, this removes the imperfection from your personality. Those imperfections, those disturbing thoughts which are burning us day and night. So these things will be removed. That Bhavamaha Davagni Nirvapanam. Davagni means the forest fire. Once it starts spreading, it spreads like anything, as we know. It is very difficult to control the forest fire. So in the same way, if that the worries and anxiety, these things, once it starts burning, once it enters into our life, it is very difficult to get control over it. But it is possible. It is possible to get control over it only through the name of Lord. So that is the Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. That is what Chaitanya says. It is all right. We have removed the ignorance. We have removed we removed the anxiety. There is some vacuum. Something is happening with our life, so we are engaged. We are engaged into that. We are busy with that. When it is removed, something has to be filled into that also. What we have to feel? That there Chaitanya explains further. Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam Vidyavadhu Jivanam. What happens while taking this Sri Krishna Sankirtana? What happens while taking this name of the Lord? What happens? That Shreya Kairava Chandrika, the way the moonlight is spread all over the beings, all over the creation, very slowly, gently, and this glorious rays of moon, it reduces that jivana tapa. This glorious rays of bhakti, the bhakti chandra, it removes that tapa which you are forbearing. It gives life to the knowledge. Vidya vadhu jivanam. Here, the vidya is considered as a vadhu. Vidya vadhu jivanam. Who is the most near and dear to the wife? That is her husband. So, this Sri Krishna Sankirtana or the name of Lord is nothing but the life of this knowledge. Knowledge has importance. Knowledge is glorious if there is a support of divine, if there is a grace divine behind it. Otherwise, that knowledge is nothing but the dry information. And what it happens further? Anandambudhi vardhanam pratipadam purnamrutaswadanam. When we develop the attachment to the Lord's name, what happens? The enjoyment, the bliss which we are supposed to get, it keeps increasing. We get the only glimpse of bliss through our worldly enjoyments. Through our worldly enjoyments, we get the glimpse of that bliss. But what happens if we start taking the name of Lord? That Anandambudhi Vardhanam, that bliss, we will understand, we will come to know that this bliss is what the glimpse which we were getting through this worldly enjoyments and all. That bliss, that glimpse is actually not, it is a peak of iceberg, that's all. But actually the whole iceberg is lying behind. The whole ocean of bliss is present there. That awareness comes when we start taking the name of Lord. Pratipadam Purnamrita Swadanam. Every step we start growing. We start experiencing the nectarine test of that bliss through Lord's name. Sarvatmasnapanam param vijayate. Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. The whole personality, the whole consciousness get clear through this Sri Krishna's Sankirtana. That is what the glory of Krishna Sankirtana, or that is what the glory of Lord's name. Now we have to see the Holy Mother, what she does, how she brought these teachings in her day-to-day life, how she followed. Mother never engaged herself in the criticism of others. The very teaching of Holy Mother, the best teaching of Holy Mother is that don't find fault with others if you want peace. If you want peace of mind, oh my child, don't find the fault with others. If you want to see the fault, see your own faults. The whole world is your own. Nobody is stranger in this world. That is what the essence of her life. When we are clear about her teaching, if we try to understand and if we try to follow her teaching, if we try to apply in our day-to-day life, it is the only, we will see that it is the only way to get the peace of mind. This Cheto Darpana Marjanam. If you want to clean your mind, you have to follow the teaching of Holy Mother very intensely. After this, what was the behavior of Holy Mother? Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam we saw. Her presence itself, her words itself, nothing but the expression of divinity, which will cool down your overall system. One widow came to Jairambati, elderly lady. She came during the afternoon, and Holy Mother was sitting in the veranda, and she came weeping. Bitterly she was weeping. The other companions of Holy Mother, they consoled her, they brought her to Holy Mother. Holy Mother also tried to console her. But there was no end for her weeping. There was no end for her grief. And after some time, she expressed the reason of that grief. The alone son was no more. The son was the only support of her life, that old poor lady. The son was the alone support, and now he is no more. For her, the world is void. What to do next? For whom to live? How to live? For whom to live is the one question, and how to live is the another question. Who is going to support her in this age, in this situation? And hearing her grief, Holy Mother she also starts weeping with her. She weeps with her, weeps and weeps. And at the end, somehow that old lady gets consoled, as if Holy Mother has taken all the grief from her. She absorbed all the grief of her into herself. And then she instructs to her companions that, oh, give her food. Let her have stomach full of food. And then you send her back to her place. This is the compassionate mother. This is how her grace was bestowing over the people. One who was engrossed in the name of Lord, or in the principle, the God principle, their behaviors are like this. Something extraordinary. Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vitranam. Very unknowingly, she took away her grief and made her ready for the next journey. Wherever Holy Mother will go, there will be the mart of joy. Wherever she goes, whether it is in the house of devotees. Very rarely, of course, she used to go in the houses of devotees. But when she comes to the Kolkata, when she comes to the Belur Math, when she used to visit other places and all, the mart of joy used to take place there. That is how Anandambudhi Vardhanam Pratipadam Purnamruta Swadanam. Holy Mother was nothing but the Sahacharini, Sahadharmini of Bhagwan Sri Ramakrishna. The disciples of Bhagwan Sri Ramakrishna, that time itself they were moving all over the world to preach the message of Vedanta. The women like Holy Bull, Nivedita, etc., all of them, they are ready to serve Holy Mother. And that Holy Mother, he moves among all the villagers or among all her devotees with such a simplicity, it can never be imagined. She would have been created a kind of aura around her. She would have been sat on the beautiful throne, and she would have been ordered the people. She would have been commanded the people. But she never did that. She never did that. Because her nature was not like that. She was the simplest one. So, when that presence of Holy Mother used to bring peace of mind to the devotees, peace of mind to all the people, that is how she used to be the cause of their joy, to the bliss. Purnamrita Swadanam, and what to say? When she serves something to the devotees, something, she used to create the joy out of very simple things. And that joy they used to remember forever. Somewhere she thought, when she was in the Jairam Bhatti, after some festival, she says so many devotees have gathered from different places, different castes, different creeds, and they are all are my children. They are all my children, and I want to see them together. But then that time the social restrictions were there. Our society was not so open as it is today. So that time Holy Mother says that how to do this. It is not possible for to bring them together and feed them in a single plate. But there is a one way. What she has done, she has brought a plate full of puffed rice, mudi, and jalebi, hot jalebi, and she offered it to Thakur, and she put into the another bigger plate, and she said to all these devotees that, oh, now you sit together and you eat it. I want to see that you are joyfully eating together. That is how she built the mansions of bliss among the devotees. And this is a simple incident. They have not partaken of rice, etc., nothing. Only puffed rice, no such a delicious food, no such any gorgeous food was given to them. It was only puffed rice and jalebi. One sweet and one plain puffed rice, that's all. But through that, she has created the mansion of joy, and the devotees understood that their oneness with Holy Mother as a children, and she is the mother. Something extraordinary. While doing all these things, what has happened? Sarvatma snapanam, Sarvatma snapanam. That with such small incidents, with such small instructions of Holy Mother, it used to clean their hearts. They used to get rid of their anxieties, their ego problems, and so many other things. That was Holy Mother. That is how this Sarvatma Snapanam means it has not had something, some divine water will fall on you and you will get. No, it will happen through these small incidents only. Your ego will be cleared. Your anxiety will go away. Your feeling towards others will increase. Positive feelings towards others will increase. That is what. And when a person is engrossed into this kind of behavior, what happens? Narada explains this in his Bhakti Sutra. It is the 50th Sutra of Narada Bhakti Sutra, that satarati, sa lokans tarati. It is not told that only once, that satarati. No, he said satarati. Yes, he will cross the ocean of this samsara. He will cross the ocean of this samsara. He will definitely cross the ocean of this samsara. The second, why he recited it second time, that is through conviction. Sa lokans tareti, and through him or through her, many will cross the ocean of samsara. This is the greatness of this Sri Krishna Sankirtana, or the name of the Lord. And we could see that Lord Chaitanya also did the same thing. The people came to beat him, and he initiated them into the name of Sri Krishna. That is how these people, they think. That is how their life goes. As we know, Vachana Veda, or Sri Ramakrishna Vachanamrita, or Sri Ramakrishna Kathamrita, the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, the various names, that actually the teachings of Ramakrishna. So it was noted down by Master Mahashaya that he begins that book with that those notes with the shloka that tava kathamrutam tapta jivanam kavibhiriditam kalmashapaham shravanamangalam srimadatatam bhuvi granantiye bhurida janaha. This is the shloka from Gopika Gitam, from Srimad Bhagavatam. Tava kathamrutam, through your stories, through your discussion of your leelas, tapta jivanam kavibhiriditam kalmashapaham. The tapa of jivana, the burning capacity of this samsara will go away. This is praised by all the great people, scholarly people. And what happens? Shravana Mangalam, Srimadadatam, it brings the auspicious feelings to us. Bhuvi Granantiye Bhuridajana. What Sri Chaitanya has told, the Cheto Darpana Marjanam to Sri Krishna Sankeetam, that whole shloka, the same reflection we can see here also. Or we can see the reflection of this shloka into the teaching of Chaitanya. The same with the Holy Mother also. Whole life, through her presence, through her teachings, people got across of this ocean of samsara. The second shloka of Shikshashtakam goes like this. Namnam kari bahutha nija sarva shakti tatrar pita niyamitaha smaranena kalaha etadrushi tava kripa bhagavan mamapi durdevam idrusham ihajani na anuragaha. O Lord, in your holy name there is all good fortune for the living entity. You have invested all your potencies in those names, and there are no hard and fast rules for remembering them. We know the scripture of devotion, the Bhakti Shastra, it gives every freedom to the follower. It gives every freedom to the devotees. Take his name, chant his name, that is enough. That is enough. That is Namasmarana, that itself is enough to get rid of this samsara. But of course, we have to follow it. So all these things are there. Everything is there. The name is glorious. Lord has put all his energy, all his power into that name. But Tatrar Pita Niyamita Smaranena Kala, and even after pouring all the potency into those names, even you have removed the rules and regulations also. There are no such hard and fast restrictions. Then, Etadrishi tava kripa bhagavan mamapi. Oh Lord, such a wonderful grace you have bestowed upon me. Such a wonderful grace is there from you. Even then, it is my misfortune. I am so unfortunate that even though I have not developed the attachment or love towards your name. Various names are there. Somebody can call Govinda, somebody can Gopala, Ramakrishna, Krishna, whatever you name you want, you recite. That is what the scriptures of Bhakti says. Bhakti Shastra says. But even then, we have no time to do that. This is, I feel, that Chaitanya is Sri Chaitanya is explaining the repentance of devotee in this through this shloka. It happens. It is our day-to-day life. It happens. One very good incident is there in the life of Holy Mother. Somebody goes to Holy Mother and he says that, Mother, every day I am doing the japa wholeheartedly. Acha, how long you are doing the japa? Asked the Holy Mother. Mother, I will do some morning 2 hours, evening 2 hours the japa, but nothing is happening. Nothing is happening to me. I am taking a Lord's name on such a such time, but I am not feeling any progress. Expecting that Holy Mother will give him the abhaya, Holy Mother will take his responsibility and all, but Holy Mother gives him back in a very different, very interesting way. She says, do you think it will be so easy for you to reach him? Is it so easy to reach him? To reach him, the rishis have performed the tapas for thousands of years without having food and water. And is he reachable so easily for you after doing few thousands of japa? Is it possible? Do you think so? No. Surrender yourself at his feet and keep doing the practices. She understood that he has developed the ego of sadhana, which is more dangerous for him, which is going to take him away from his practices, from his goal. And there she rebukes him. Of course, in very soft word, but that hard teaching, she has what the hard message she is supposed to convey him, she has conveyed. So that is our situation many times. If we have the anuraga towards the name, if we are having the love for the God, if we are having the love towards God's name, then we will not develop this kind of egos. Suddenly we start feeling something that we are the extraordinary. That is the greatest obstacle in our spiritual life. Sri Ramakrishna used to say that jato vyakta tato tyakta. As much there is an expression of your devotion, that much it is a useless, it is a futile. Nothing is going to happen through that kind of devotion. There should not be temporary excitement in you on the name of devotion. So Chaitanya expresses this repentance of a devotee through this shloka. Third shloka goes like this. It is a very important shloka of this Shikshashtakam. Rather, it is a very popular shloka of this Shikshashtakam. Trinadapi sunichena, tarorapi sahishnuna, amanina manadena, kirtaniya sada harihi. One who thinks himself lower than the grass, who is more tolerant than a tree, and who does not expect personal honor but is always prepared to give all respect to others, can very easily always chant the holy name of the Lord. Is it an easy thing to get attachment in the name of Lord, in the name of Bhagwan? Is it so easy thing? No. There are certain conditions. We must be able to follow that. We are taking the name of God. It does not mean we should be egoistic. It does not mean we should be arrogant. It does not mean that we should be restless. It does not mean that we should be dominating, because we are taking the name of Lord. Is it something that you are becoming the assistant of king and you start ruling the overall empire through without asking the king? Anybody will accept your dominance? Nobody will accept. You might be the assistant of king, but you are not the king. That we have to remember. So trunadapi sunichana. When we have to removal of ahankara. Trunadapi sunichana. Nirahankara vritti. Ahankara should not be entertained in our mind if we want the devotion in the name of Lord. If we want to focus on our goal, that is God, realization, then we have to be nirahankari. Nirahankaritva is to be practiced. Egolessness. Trunadapi sunichena. Think yourself. Chaitanya instructs very clearly. Think yourself that you are the lower than the grass. Is it possible for us? Just try to think over it. Try to ponder over it. Tarorapi sahishnuna. Tarorapi sahishnuna. The tree gives us fruits, it gives us shade, it gives us everything, it gives us shelter. Not only for us, for so many birds, for so many animals, so many creatures, it is the life. It forbears everything. It never demands anything. The woodpecker comes and makes hole into the tree, in the body of the tree, trunk of the tree. It forbears. It never gives any reaction. Whether you pour acid at its root or you pour the water at its root, tree does not care for it. If you pour something poisonous, it will die silently. If you pour something lively, it will give you the best fruits. That is how the nature of tree. Tarorapi sahishnuna. You have to be the man or woman of forbearance in the same way. Bhagwan Shankaracharya says in his Vivek Chudamani that one has to follow the titiksha. It is one of the must quality to become the spiritual seeker. Bhagwan Shankara says that shloka. Chinta vilaparhitam sa titiksha sahanam sarva dukkhanam apratikara purvakam Chinta vilaparahitam sa titiksha nigaddate. That is the nature of tree actually we can see. Sahanam sarva dukkhanam. Whatever the dukkha will come, whatever the obstacles will, whatever the problems will come, whatever the torture will come, you have to forbear. Sahanam sarva dukkhanam apratikara purvakam. One has no right to react over it. If he want to be the spiritual aspirant, that we need to understand here. If one has to be the sincere spiritual aspirant, he has no right to react over others' torture, etc. Sahanam sarva dukkhanam apratikara purvakam. All the sorrows you have to forbear without much reaction, without any reaction rather. Apratikara purvakam chinta vilaparahitam. Afterwards you should not ponder over it. You should not keep screaming over it. No, I would have been done this. Oh, I have to bear all these things. What I have done wrong, etc., etc. There should not be a trace of those kind of thoughts in your mind. Chinta vilaparahitam. There should not be worry also. There should not be too much of pondering over it also. There should not be vilapa, means keep on crying about it. There should not be such things in your mind. Chinta vilaparitam sa titiksha nigaddate. That is called the titiksha. That is called the titiksha. And that is what I feel that Bhagavan Chaitanya is also expecting here from us. Tarorape sahishnuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sadaharihi. This we can see. Holy Mother was completely merged into the name of God. She was completely merged into the God principle. She used to always dwell in the higher realms of spirituality. That was possible because these three teachings were the part of her day-to-day practices. She never had a trace of ego, never had the ahankara. Nowhere she keeps telling mine, this, that, and all these things. She is not so egoist that Nivedita comes and sits at his feet, or some old lady or tribal lady comes and sits at her feet. Both are equal to her. Towards both of them, she is having the same feeling that they are my children, they are my own. They are nothing but the expressions of God. That is what she could see there. Even she could see that God in ants, she could see that God in the broomstick. Is it not? If we are aware of her life, we should ponder over these incidents. So there was no ahankara in her. Trinadapi sunichena, tarorapi sahishnuna, and there was no limit for her forbearings. Her brothers, her sister-in-laws, so many relatives, so many devotees. Sometimes she got praise, sometimes she got troubled. Even then, she remained silent. She never reacted there. She never reacted there because she was merged into the name of God. That is how the japa used to happen through her. Whole day, one portion of mind is lying with Sri Ramakrishna's name, and another with small portion of mind, she is following her day-to-day routine activities she is doing. Tarorape sahishnuna. This titiksha we must follow. Amanina manadenam. Kirtaniya sadahari. Amanina manadena. Who was the Amjad, the dacoit Amjad? Is it not? The poor person, a poor fellow of that village. People were afraid of him. His poverty made him to accept this way of life. He became the dacoit. And that dacoit is also a child of Holy Mother. Holy Mother says in Bengali that Ami Shateroma Ashoteroma. I am the mother of wise as well as mean people also. She never hesitated to express that she is the mother for everyone. She never hesitated it. So, Amanina Manadena, whomever comes to Holy Mother, even she used to pay respect. Amjad comes to Holy Mother and Holy Mother gives him the food. She gives him the work. Oh, this roof is a little bit spoiled. You try to do it better, correct it, repair it. She knows how to give respect even to that person also. Amanina manadena kirtaniya sada. We need to think, are we doing that? One very touching incident is there in the life of most revered Swami Ranganathananji Maharaj. When Maharaj was there in Hyderabad as the Adhyaksha of that ashrama, one postman used to go to him, and every day afternoon, and we know the scorching heat of Andhra, so it used to happen so Maharaj will be waiting in the office or in the veranda of this monk's quarter for him, and he used to come. He will, it is a general practice, no, that postman has to deliver that letter while standing and he has to go away. There is no question of any demanding and all these things, any service to him, etc. Very rarely it happens. Some good people, they offer something to him. Otherwise, we just take the post and send him away. That's all. Because it is a part of his duty also. He has to cover up the whole area. So this postman used to go there every day, and Maharaj used to wait for him with some prasada, and Maharaj used to make him to sit on the chair. He used to hesitate. Swamiji, how I can sit on the chair? And so Swami, there was no question that you have to sit on this chair, you take this and go. That was a very small, very simple incident. But what it shows, that time Swami Ranganathanji Maharaj was the world famous personality. People used to call him the Prati Vivekananda. Not only in Indian subcontinent, but he moved all over the world. He was interviewed by the very famous channels of America, etc. And that Swamiji gives the proper respect to this postman also. Why? Because he could see the expression of God. He won't see the postman in him. He won't see the even man or human being in him. He sees the expression of divinity in him. Amanina Mahadena Kirtanyas Dahari. One who has dedicated himself to the name of God, he becomes compassionate. He starts feeling towards others in this way. It was not so easy to forbear Radhu's peculiarities also. Holy Mother forbore it. Listening all the devotees patiently. It was not some easy thing. Many will tell good, bad things which are happening in their life. If we listen something from others' lives, some few incidents which are really negative, it irritates us. It creates a bad impression on our mind, and we keep continuing to think over it, ponder, and it creates a kind of stress over the mind. Is it not? But Holy Mother used to do all these things very patiently. That is what Yoginma got the doubt how it is possible that Sri Ramakrishna used to speak so high about Holy Mother, and but here I am seeing that she is engaged with her sister-in-laws, brothers, etc., etc. This property matter, that property matter. What is this? Then and that time one day Yoginma was doing meditation on the banks of Ganges. There she could see, suddenly Master appears in front of her, and he shows her he directs her towards the Ganges. Something was floating on the surface of Ganges. What is that? There was a corpse of a small baby, full of filth, etc. And Sri Ramakrishna says, do you think, Yogin, now Ganges is impure? The same attitude you should have towards the Holy Mother. All this, though she is staying in this world, she is observing all these worldly matters and all these things, but she is not involved into it. You remember, that is her purity, and that was the Holy Mother. Being in all these circumstances, she was unaffected by all this, and that is the great quality. Holy Mother was an avatar, etc. We can understand, but what is the reason to tell all these things? That if we want to develop the taste for the name of God, we need to understand and we need to follow these three divine qualities. The fourth shloka goes, Na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim, kavitam va jagadish kamaye. Oh Lord, I don't want the wealth. I don't want the people around me. People are anchoring for the publicity also. People anchor for it. People, they should recognize me. We need the recognition. We need the status. We need so many things in this world. As just think the last shloka, amanina manadena. That should be our nature. Whereas we are engrossed in completely in contrast activities. So that's why Chaitanya says, na dhanam, I don't want wealth. Na janam, I don't want the people around me, that name and fame. Na sundarim, I don't want the good wife. Kavitam va Jagdisha kame. Oh Jagdisha, I don't want that flowery language also. Flowery language, I don't want all those things. All I want that mama janmani ishvare bhavatad bhaktirai ahituki tvai. I want unmotivated devotion to you at your feet. Unmotivated devotion. We need to understand this. Devotion has so many aspects. Rather, devotion is the only unmotivated. That emotion towards God can be called devotion. Here is the incident again. Holy Mother goes to Rameshwaram. She was in the tour of South India, arranged by Srimad Swami Ramakrishnanji Maharaj. And Swamiji, Ramakrishnanji Maharaj, Shashi Maharaj takes her to the Rameshwaram. They offers, we know the incidents which are happened there. Ramakrishnanji Maharaj has prepared, so he has brought some 108 golden bilva leaves, and in the presence of king, those bilva leaves offered to Lord Rameshwara by the hands of Holy Mother. And Holy Mother, of course, she exclaims there that what I kept during my earlier days, the same way that Shivalinga is the same way it is there, and it was heard by Golapma only, that's all. So anyhow, further that, but here another remarkable incident has happened. King of Ramnad, he is present there. He takes her to his palace, Holy Mother, along with Holy Mother Radhu and other companions up there, and he opens his treasure to Holy Mother. He opens his treasure to Holy Mother out of respect and devotion, and he says, Mother, whatever you need, whatever you want, please take from here. Mother is shocked as a simple village lady. So she says, no, I don't want anything. She keeps telling, no, I don't want anything. But the king is requesting and requesting. He's pestering her like anything. At last, Mother says, okay, I don't want anything, but if Radhu wants anything, let her take. So Radhu is appointed as a Holy Mother's their representative, and she enters into that treasure room, and she starts searching for something. She goes, she looks here and there and all these things, and she also, how it happens, if the fragrant flowers are fallen in the mud, even that mud become fragrant. That is how it happened. Because she was constantly in the company of Holy Mother. Leave her other aspects, that she was the Yoga Maya, etc. She came here to keep Holy Mother's mind down and all this discussion. But just see through human angle that Radhu asked for the piece of pencil for her skit, to write on her skit. Everyone is shocked. What is this? All this jewel. And here Holy Mother is praying in her mind to Sri Ramakrishna. Oh Thakur, please, Radhu should not commit any blunder there. Please protect her. Please protect her. Please protect her. She is praying and praying. She is anxious. For what? To maintain that renunciation. That is the Holy Mother. That is the Holy Mother. She was not behind all these things. And that is the actual real nature of a devotee. He will not go behind all these things. This kind of temporary, the transient achievements will not make him happy. So, Mother prays to Thakur in this. And when Radhu says that I want the piece of pencil, and then Holy Mother is relieved. She is so relaxed. And she thanks Thakur, Sri Ramakrishna, that, oh, thank you so much, that you have protected her. That is what then? Because this is possible, if there is a higher demand, then automatically the lower demands will go away from you. It has to go. If there is a demand for the higher principle, the lower principles become immaterial for us. Fifth shloka of Shikshashtakam. That is, Ainanda Tanuja, Kinkaram Patitam Ma Vishame Bhavam Budhau, Kripaya Tava Pada Pankaja Sthita Dhuli Sadrusham Vichintaya. O my Lord, son of Nanda, I am your eternal servant. But because of my own fruitive actions, I have fallen into this horrible ocean of nations. Now, please be merciful to me. Consider me as a particle of dust at your lotus feet. This is the humility. This is the humbleness which devotee describes. Devotee, he himself, even I am declaring myself, I am the dust particle of Lord's feet. There is a trace of ego. There is you are pampering your ego, telling all these things. Here I am telling that I am the servant of Lord. When I go outside, I am something else. My character into the ashrama, my character outside the ashrama, it is something different. That should not be there. That's why Chaitanya, there is a sukshma vichara behind it. Even if I have to declare myself as a dust particle at the lotus feet of the Lord, even that responsibility also belongs to Lord himself, not of mine. If he feels, let me keep like that. I am interested for it. I am very much interested. I want to be with him. But if he wishes, then only it is possible. Otherwise, it is impossible. But here there is one small shloka is there, which comes from the actually Vishishtadvaita Sampradaya from Ramanuja. That this is too much I felt sometimes. So I have just one small shloka. It is a very interesting one. Little opposite to this. Here the devotee says, Abhuta purvam mama bhavi kim va sarvam saheme sahajam hi dukkham kintu twadagre sharanagatanam parabhavo natha nate anurupaha. Oh Lord, what is that? If I am getting so many miseries and all these things, nothing is great in that. It is my day-to-day experience. But being your devotee, I am getting all these calamities in my life. It is not matching somewhere. It is going to bring some bad name to you. Nate anurupaha. If I am looked by you, if you are the person, if you are the one who looks after me, if you are the responsible for everything what happens in my life, then all this series of calamities in my life, why? He questions to Lord. Of course, it is a matter of fun here. So, here Chaitanya Dev appeals to Lord. He pesters to God for the grace towards him. I think only 2 minutes are there. So, this last shloka I will, this sixth shloka I will explain and then I will stop. Nayanam galadashrudharaya vadanam gadagadaruddhaya gira pulakaihi nichitam vapuhu kadatava namagrahane bhavishati. O my Lord, when will my eyes be beautified by filling with tears that constantly glide down as I chant your holy name? This is the concept of devotion. This is the concept of bhakti. We see the eyes will become beautiful with some treatment or some makeup. But the devotee thinks the eyes are beautiful. The purpose of eyes is served properly when the tears will start rolling down while chanting the name of Lord. That is the real purpose of life. As we know the story of Hemamba and Dhanurdasa, is it not? Dhanurdasa was feeling something great, keep seeing the Hemamba. But when Bhagwan Ramanuja shown him the greatest beauty of Lord Sri Ranganatha, and then he melted down. Then he understood the purpose of life. That is how Bhagwan Sri Ramakrishna says, what is the real purpose of life? That is the God realization. Through that God realization, only real purpose is served. So, Bhagwan Chaitanya also says, Pulake nichitam vapuh kadatva namagrahane bhavishti. When I will get all these experiences, when I will get it? And how this expectation of Chaitanya, he says, I should get all these experiences through your name, not through worldly actions and all this. He was not interested into all these worldly actions. He says, I should get all these experiences. People cry for the wealth, people cry for the relatives, people cry for so many things. They keep starving for the enjoyments of their worldly enjoyments, but the angle of devotee is something different. He says, I should also be like that. I should also cry. I should also roll into the ground. I should also get this what can I say, goosebumps on my body. But how? Through your name. Then only my life is successful. Then only I am the Kritartha or Kritakritya. Up to this, here I would like to conclude the session. Thank you so much for listening peacefully. It is a time for prayer. There is a small announcement that 12th, 13th and 14th of May, the seminar will be conducted in the same place, in the same hall. The invitation is already put on the board. This seminar is on the occasion of 125th anniversary of Ramakrishna establishment of Ramakrishna Mission. So all are cordially invited, but the entry to this seminar is only through registration. So I think tomorrow onwards there will be the registration counter also in the office, as well as through online also. Online registration also can be done. So please do the needful. Thank you so much. Om Priyatam Pundarikakshaha Sarvayajneshwaro Harihi Tasminstushte Jagattushtam Prinite Prinitam Jagat. Harihi Om Tatsat. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.